I do really play to win. I like that. That's the only reason why. I haven't won on any level. I can't say that I'm a winner. I don't want my career to end like that.
He's just a dog. I mean, Jimmy is one of the most special players and closers in this league. You know, he's somebody I've respected for a long time. He just continues to get better, and he's the guy we want the ball in his hands at the end of a game. So tonight was no different.
Anytime you play in this game throughout your career, there's certain guys that stick out that you know when you step on the floor, it's going to be maximum effort every possession, and that's from both sides. And that's been like that throughout Jimmy's whole career. Every time I've matched up with him, no matter what uniform he's had on and I had on, we've always battled it out. So nothing but respect for a guy that brings it every single night, brings his hard hat, punches his clock, and leave it all out on the floor.
He was unbelievable. The thing about Jimmy is he doesn't play with an agenda. He's a winner. And if they called for him to pass, he would have passed the ball. He's just all about winning.
Jimmy's all about hard work. He's all about getting better. He's all about team. And if he doesn't feel that from everybody, then he's already rubbed off the wrong way. You got to remember, Jimmy's a self-made superstar.
Right.
JUCO, had to really grind. If you know his situation when he had to come up through, he wasn't one that was, prodigy as a kid and like knew what this was going to be. He made himself there. Even when he came to Chicago, he's a defender first. He got minutes by being a defender.
Out of all the superstars, he's one of the ones who is really self-made. He wasn't the one who was a prodigy coming up from middle school to high school. And so he kind of has that mentality. I'll guard that guy. You be the scorer tonight. He kind of has that, right? And so
he respects the grind. I say that to say this. He respects the grind. He respects the game. He respects people that put the work in. And it's all about winning. And when he went to Miami, I told him, I said, you were built for Miami 20 years ago. You didn't even know it. But the way everything you stand for and what you're about and how they go about their business, he was a Miami Heat player.
He is just one of the most, one of the greatest competitors we've ever seen in this game, whose heart is as big as anyone's in this game.
So I love playing with Jimmy. He's an interesting personality. Oftentimes with Jimmy, it can rub certain people the wrong way. I love playing with Jimmy. In my opinion, I wish we had just ran it back in Philly.
I just respect him so much as being such a unique, world-class, elite competitor. A lot of guys play the game of basketball in this league. He competes to win. That's a different language. And he's desperate and urgent and maniacal and sometimes psychotic about the will to try to win.
One of the good things about me leaving Miami going to Chicago is I forged a relationship with this guy. And he reminds me of both of you guys. He's just he's an amazing person, a little misunderstood, you know what I'm saying? It all come from a good place. Sometimes it may come out wrong, but it's all coming from a good place for him. And, he's happy. Miami and Jimmy is the perfect marriage. And
let's be very clear about that. Jimmy always wanted to be on the Heat.
Jimmy has this weird reputation that not everyone's on board, but he's clearly an incredible fighter, teammate, winner. They were like, no, that's our guy, and they built with him. And that's a sign of a great culture is when you can identify exactly who fits you instead of I think he's a fit, right? They know clearly he's a fit, he's not. This is what we do. This is our system of behaviors.
Jimmy is comfortable being Jimmy. He don't need to go out and show you guys I can score 30 a night. Mm-hmm. He's really sharing the ball. He's really sharing the attention with those guys. And you can see it. You see that, that environment that we talk about, that culture, that these guys have bought into it. And they playing amazing, man. And the sky's the limit. They can just continue to keep going.
We kind of embraced who Jimmy was. We knew Jimmy was an asshole at the end of the day. We all know that. But this culture embraces that. We want you to bring that assholeness out. So then on the court, we got all 5 people that are dogs.
We're witnessing a guy who's continued to be in his prime and playing at a level of basketball that not many players can get to, and you have to just kind of sometimes sit back and appreciate it. But
right, you played Jimmy. Jimmy's 15, 20, 21, and in the playoffs, he just really turns into a whole different player that they're not actually used to. Yeah. And he just tortures everyone during The playoffs.
That came to mind. Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Butler.
Hey, I'm calling them playoff buckets now,
No, but look, he be in the regular season.
Right.
And I ain't saying he coasting.
He is, though. He be having bullshit. I look at his line. When playoffs come around,
he a whole new man.
All the big shots. He take all. Listen, Jimmy Butler.
He a whole nother man.
Yeah. His consistency to me, when he get to the playoffs, he hit big shots.
Yeah, he do.
Because, playoffs, everything get bigger, right?
Jimmy Butler go from regular season Jimmy Butler
it's like Superman.
to big face. To big face coffee.
So he's on a mission. I mean, he feels like he has a lot to prove. Like, that's what I love about him, though.
Yeah.
Like, if something goes, all right, didn't do this year, he's going to come back and try to, do it better next year.
In the playoffs, Jimmy turns something else on. And whether he likes it or not, playoff Jimmy is just something different.
He's just special. He just has a gear. I always will go back because people don't understand the level of exhaustion that you have to exert yourself to win a championship, to do some of the things that the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryant do. When I saw Jimmy Butler laid over top of the scorer's table in the bubble, you could see a man that was giving every single ounce, and Jimmy has that ability, and people could not match his level, and they had no answer for him. That is uniquely special. It's one of the best performances that I've ever seen.
We always knew the talent, right? And we both saw it up close by playing with him. We saw the unselfishness. We saw the hard hat he brought every single day. We saw the leadership in his way, right? It's not for everybody, but it was his way, and we embraced that. And Jimmy, if he's rolling with you, he'll roll with you all the way. And so for him to take that team and lead that team to the finals, I was so fucking happy for him. And Jimmy kind of plays into that. He kind of wants them not to know him because he's a loyal dude. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had. He's a great leader.
Off the court, you got to see Jimmy's, charisma. You got to see who he was as a person. There was no going home in the bubble. That was one of those games where Kobe having the final, MJ, LeBron, for Jimmy to have that moment where he can have his name stitched in history in the finals. It's just it just showed everybody he's not a person that's gonna back down.
When we signed him or traded for him, and then I just, hit him up and just told him I'm willing to work with him whenever. I want to get some work in and get better. And he was like, "Yeah, come down to Chicago and we'll work." So I came down there, and that's when we woke up at 5 and we were on the beach throwing medicine balls around. But I leaned on him so much my rookie year. Just being able to lean on someone like him who's seen everything, who's been through it all. And then we built such a great relationship. And for being a young guy, for me, it was just in the playoffs, I was just trying to play for him. And I know he's always been that guy that people talk about as a bad teammate and stuff. But that's the complete opposite of who he actually is. So just being able to play with him my rookie year was a blessing.
Love Jimmy to death, man. Jimmy, the only person that got me drinking wine. Jimmy has also opened up my countryside. And I spent a lot of time with Jimmy. And just like D-Wade and myself, brothers fight. But D-Wade never really got to the point where we wanted to knuckle up. Me and Jimmy got to the point where we wanted to knuckle up. You know what I'm saying? But that's brothers. And once again, that's an everyday thing with the Miami Heat.
We're playing Miami. It's fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, and I'm on him at this point. I'm guarding Jimmy. He looks at Kyle and says, "Go get the ball." And I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm not guarding Jimmy. I guess I'm going to be guarding Jimmy while he's chilling in the corner. Kyle Lowry scores 12 straight points, and we lose that game. And it's just it just shows you how good guys are in the NBA because they can literally turn it on in an instant.
Yeah.
Whenever they want to. And also with the help of Jimmy Butler telling you, go get the damn ball.
That's empowering.
Guarding Jimmy, I feel like he's really just scoring at will. Where it's just he doesn't care if he's getting fouled or not. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get to the free throw line. I'm going to get to my spots. And if you jump on this pump fake, I'm going to hit you in your rib. And I'm going to go to the foul line while you're holding your rib.
I love it. That's what I love about Jimmy. He's a dog. Yeah, I remember that game like it was yesterday. We scored. I made a pass. My big man, he dunked it. They called a timeout. It was we were by 6 with 50 seconds left. And the game should have been over. I said it was over. Then they come down, hit 2 threes, and y'all know what happened. And he tweeted after the game, and I get on the bus, and everybody's talking to me about what he said and all this. And so I didn't say anything after that game.
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, indeed.
Man, I sure wish I was at the crib.
What crib?
At any crib. Because I can say what I want to say about Jimmy Butler. I mean, to Jimmy F. and Butler.